Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, let's do the full review of this OPPO Reno6 Pro. And guys, I got this review on it almost about 2.5 weeks ago. So I thought instead of doing a regular unboxing, why not just post a review after testing it? So we'll be doing the review. And in fact, OPPO launched, again relaunched, I could say, this OPPO Enco X in a new color. With this one here, I have it. As you can see, these are now in this blue color. In fact, if I recall, I had already covered the white color variant. And now if you buy it with a combo of this one, you get a discount. Here is a banner with all the details, as you can see. So let's just keep this here because this video is about the OPPO Reno6 Pro 5G. And yes, this one justifies the 5G name. I'll talk about it later. I won't waste a lot of time about unboxing and stuff, so I'll just show what comes inside the box. This is the box you get. I'll just keep, and you get a 65 watt charger. Of course, the cable, you have to use this cable to get the best results. This is Super VOOOC, and we also get a headset, which is actually a Type-C one with this one. And as I've told you guys, I've been using this one now for almost more than 2 weeks. So I'll directly jump between pros and cons. What do I feel about this device? So let's break it down between pros and cons. So and again, I feel this is again a camera-centric smartphone. In fact, has a lot of video modes also. I'll show you some samples with the new video mode in the later part of the video. But let's talk about the pros now. And the first thing that I liked about this smartphone is the design, I would say. And it feels actually sleek in the hand. The in-hand feel is good. It's neither too heavy nor light. It weighs 177 grams. So I feel they have done a good job in terms of build. In fact, in terms of build also, they have done a good job. It feels nice. And if you look at the back, again, this is also glass, guys, not a plastic polycarbonate or anything. This is actually glass. And if you move it around, again, it plays around with the light. And as you can see, you get actually some good effect. We have seen this stuff earlier on, but I feel they have implemented it very well on this smartphone. Actually, it looks pretty nice, as you can see. And I believe the front-facing camera, the screen is also a Gorilla Glass 5, and of course it's a AMOLED screen that you are getting with this one. So you have this in-display fingerprint scanner that works actually, as you can see. So no issues in that. In fact, still my primary SIM is in this one. I've installed my apps and all these things. So in terms of ergonomics, I would say they have done a good job. Yes, we have the curved screens on this. Some people like it, some people don't, but definitely I would say it looks stylish. And generally OPPO phones are a little bit on the style quotient. So in that respect, I would say yes, it's a stylish phone and comfortable to hold. Okay, the next thing is regarding the screen. As I've told you, it's an AMOLED screen, and it's actually a very good quality screen. What I liked is that the colors on this one are produced very well on this one. Whenever I was watching videos also, of course it supports HDR. The colors were produced very well. In fact, OPPO says it has extra ambient light sensors, and because of that it does a good job. And in fact, yes, in auto brightness sensor also, I just left it on auto. It works very well. Though it's in Super AMOLED screen, guys. And we also have this always on. In fact, I did all my testing with this always on like this. So we have that. But the refresh rate maximum, it goes to 90 Hertz, not 120. That's what I have noticed. Again, when it comes to the processor, it's the MediaTek's flagship as of now. That's the Dimensity 1200. And we know it's actually pretty good. In fact, this smartphone is already launched now. So we know the pricing of this one. I'll talk about the pricing and what do I feel about it in the later part of the video. But the general performance of this phone was very good, I would say. No issues with that, and the processor easily handles it. And I haven't noticed any lagginess or anything on this smartphone. Even tons and tons of apps that I just left open, they don't get booted out, I would say. And yeah, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM. So that way, in day-to-day usage, I did not have any issues with this smartphone. I don't know about you guys, but I am a person who still takes a lot of calls like a normal human being on his smartphone. And here I would say OPPO did an excellent job. The earpiece quality is excellent. The network reception was also very good. I tested this one with Airtel as well as Jio in Hyderabad, and I had no issues in terms of call quality. In fact, this also supports carrier aggregation. So in that area, I would say they have done an excellent job. The earpiece is good. No issues of proximity sensor, even with very long calls. In fact, I'll show you. And these are some of the basics that vendors need to get it right. As you can see, if I go to the battery usage, voice call is the highest, and as you can see, just today I have taken voice calls over 2 hours, and even for some of the very long calls, no issue. So in terms of network reception, earpiece quality, I would say they have done an excellent job. Now, another small thing that I've noticed is that the haptic feedback is also done well on this model. It's a small thing, but I noticed the haptic feedback is done well on this smartphone. Okay, now moving to next thing is, and I like it, this smartphone, OPPO still says it's 5G even on the box, and again they're marketing it as that. And I feel they have done a good job in that. In terms of 5G bands, 11 5G bands are actually supported on this smartphone, so I like that. Next thing, if we move, is regarding the battery. This has a 4500 milliamp hour battery, and guys, I always used it on this 90 hertz, and I was always using it with this always on display. So if you disable that, it will be fine. But even with this kind of usage, the battery life was lasting for typical full working day. In terms of screen on time, I would say you should expect about 5 to about 6 hours of screen on time, and I would say it charges really quickly because of this charger, so it tops up very quickly, but again, it's not a 2-day battery life smartphone, but in terms of battery life, general usage, I would say it was a good experience. Also, though it has that Dimensity 1200 chipset, I didn't notice any issues of overheating or anything while I was testing this phone for the last 2 weeks. Next thing is, now again, as it's an OPPO smartphone, camera is a big part of OPPO smartphone, and certainly that's the same case even with this one. In fact, the front-facing camera with that punch hole is a 32 megapixel, and back is actually the main camera is 64 megapixel. Then we have 8 megapixel, then that obligatory 2 megapixel that we love. And I have taken a lot of sample shots. So here are some of the sample shots that taken with this smartphone. So here are some sample shots, some outdoor shots first. This was in the regular mode. This was in the wide angle mode. Another example, regular mode, wide angle. And again, this was regular, and this was that wide angle mode. It also has digital zoom. This is regular, this is 2x, and this was 5x zoom. Now moving to some human subjects, again, as you can see, it does a good job. And again, one more sample, as you can see. And this was in the portrait bokeh mode. I decided to take some pictures in artificial lighting conditions. And here also, as you can see, it is doing a good job, as you can see with these samples. Again, this was the regular shot, and this was in the portrait bokeh mode. Again, I took some casual shots around my office, and as you can see, it did actually a good job. To test low lighting, I closed all the lights in the office, and this was with one tube light switched on. Again, did the same test. This was low lighting, and this was with just one tube light. Now moving to the front facing camera, 32 megapixel, as you can see, is also doing a good job. These were in portrait mode, and also in indoor artificial lighting, as you can see, the performance was good. And these were samples taken with the portrait mode. Shooting this with the front facing camera, and this is the audio. There's a little bit of wind, so there might be wind noise, but as you can see, this is the video with the front facing camera. And this is in the normal mode, guys, but it also has some different modes even in video. For example, it also has a bokeh mode, so let's give it a try and see how it does. So guys, in the same location, and if you notice closely, the background is now sort of blurred. Actually, I'm using the bokeh mode. I've set it to about 40%, so you actually get this nice effect, the background blurring even in the video. The AI color portrait mode, and as you can see, I should be in actually color and the background should be actually black and white. So this is also a very cool video mode on this smartphone. So guys, I've seen the samples, and indeed the camera performance of the smartphone is really good. It's a camera centric smartphone with some unique video features. And guys, I'm shooting this video almost after 5 or 6 days because I just got busy with some personal work. And in terms of performance also, the general performance of this device was very good thanks to that Dimensity 1200 SoC. In fact, I ran Antutu benchmark, and to give you an idea, the general performance was very good, and because it has 12 gigabytes of RAM, no issues of RAM management. This was the Antutu score. It's actually got a very good score. So in terms of performance, you don't have to worry. And coming to gaming also, guys, I played Call of Duty on this one. I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I did play Call of Duty, and as you can see, I could play it even on this very high graphics setting. And as you can see with the sample, the performance was very good, very fluid in terms of gaming. So also for gaming, it's actually a pretty good smartphone. But now let's move to some of the cons that I have noticed with this smartphone. And the first biggest con that I feel with this smartphone is that it just has a single speaker. It does not have a stereo speaker. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad or it's not loud or something. For example, let's just try some copyright free songs, copyright free music. It's actually pretty loud, but again, it's a single speaker. Let me increase the volume to give you an idea. So as you can see, in terms of loudness, I don't have a problem. Even I took a lot of calls via the speakerphone. That's not an issue, but it's not a stereo speaker. The next thing that I did not like with this smartphone is that there is some bloatware that is pre-installed on it. You can uninstall it. I have removed quite a bit of it, but there is some bloatware that was pre-installed. So you might have to actually remove that. So that is something that I have noticed. As you can see, there are some pre-installed apps. For example, this Watch Josh. For example, you can click here and you can just quickly uninstall it. So you can uninstall the bloatware, but there was some bloatware on the smartphone. The next thing is regarding the pricing and the variant of this one. Only one variant of the smartphone was launched in India, and that is this one. That is the 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. And yes, I'm happy about that. You're getting 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. But it would have been great if they would have even launched an 8 gigabyte RAM variant with 128 gigabytes of storage. That would have offered users a lot better choices, in my frank opinion. And regarding the pricing, this is priced at about 40,000, but I was checking Flipkart where it's available. And if you use various credit cards, as you can see from the screenshot, you can get 4,000 discount. So effectively, you're getting this variant that is for 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 GB of storage for 36,000. And I feel if you have that sort of a budget, you can look at this smartphone. I would say the biggest highlight of the smartphone is the looks, and it looks very sleek, I would say, and this back pattern, at least in this color, looks really good. And regarding the screen also, that AMOLED screen, as I've told you, is a very good quality screen, and it's also very color accurate. Also in terms of call quality, as I've told you, the call quality was good, and the general performance because of the Dimensity 1200 was also very good. And let's not forget, camera was a big highlight of this smartphone. So certainly if you're having this kind of a budget, weigh down the pros and cons what I have mentioned, you can certainly go for this smartphone. The biggest compliment that I can give for this smartphone was that it'll be now almost 3 weeks since I've been using this with my primary SIM, and never I felt irritated that I felt like removing my SIM from this smartphone and moving to another smartphone. That's the biggest compliment that I can give. A very practical smartphone. But anyways, guys, this is available via Flipkart. So what I'll do is I'll leave the link of Flipkart in the description below. That's it for now for this review. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.